Good morning, YouTube. It is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And today we're taking a look at the Spiritual Nourishment 1 course, Becoming the Empress, that I have available on my site. For those of you that are interested and want a little more detail than you get when I mention it in the daily readings, I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what it is and how you might benefit from it. And I asked for a card because I need to create a screenshot for the live. So I asked for a card that would help me hone the themes that I needed to discuss today. Hi, Saffron. And I literally got the Queen of Swords, which is about, somebody who's very clear, brings clarity, brings information, communicates something, communicates a strategy, is able to be in command of her emotions and work well with them in order to accomplish what she needs to do. And these are all things that I hope to give you with the Spiritual Nourishment course. So very beautiful image there to have that Queen of Swords energy, the mindfulness that is needed to approach something that is typically very emotionally reactive. So let me just read you the description of the course because I feel like that sums it up pretty well. But basically, the course description is learn to embody the intuitive nourishment of the divine feminine energy within self. This course is for anyone who may have struggled with tuning into our divine right to pleasure, nourishment, and adornment. This course begins with exploring methods to heal disordered eating patterns, food and body image anxiety, and restrictive beliefs about deprivation and health. Students will explore the first 4 principles of intuitive eating alongside mindfulness techniques, journal prompts, past life regression exploration, and ritual magical practices that enhance our connection to the divine mother energy and allow us to truly begin to retrieve and nourish our souls. Together, myself and Ash, who is part of the Tuned In Tarot team, have created a magical journey to assist you in tuning into your heart's most authentic self. Through the symbolic language of the tarot and recommended reading from a plethora of enlightening resources, and through the wisdom and guidance of the Divine Mother, we hope you find your way to a renewed sense of the power of feminine intuition and your ability to surrender to the peace of believing in the language of your own cravings, desires, passions, and emotions. So, when I wrote the course description, I was really hopeful that that is what would happen. And I started the course on the 1st of January. So it's been going for about 2 weeks. And from what I can see, and it does seem to be having that effect for the people that are taking it, even just for those first 2 weeks. Now, you can take the course at any time. It is completely self-directed. We are currently running a section of the course, and we'll probably always run a section around the first of the month. If you want to do it with people together, because it does help to have people that you're working through these things with. But it is not necessarily meant to be linear either. There's a format to it, and you can follow it. You can start with the get tuned in and go into the journal prompts, and then go into the integrating of the new beliefs, and then go into the reinforcing, and then the healing. But you could also just literally start with the meditative healing that I put at the end of each week. You can begin your week with that. This is not meant to be something that is like school where you get graded, and it is really more just to give you a bunch of resources to help you finally achieve some peace within and learn how to understand your body so that you can start to tune into knowing whether something is fear-based or whether something is truly intuitive. So let's just get a few messages from the tarot. This is how I start the sections. I do like a tuning in, and I just ask for some of the lessons that we might learn. So I'm just going to ask for some of the overarching lessons that you would get from a course like this. Some of the things that you would take away with you. Wow. So we're starting out with the 7 of Cups. And I love that we began this reading with the Queen of Swords. And we have this, like, I'm giving you this information so that you can make clear decisions. And then we have here the past energy that we bring with us into this course, which is a fog or a confusion, so many choices, so many options. I'm thinking here like so many ideas about how you can have a healthy relationship with your body. So many different options about what being healthy means, so many different diets, so many different modalities for addressing distortions or disconnections from the self. And you're bringing sort of that fog and that confusion into this course. And you're going to be given the tools that you need to make the decisions that will help you feel empowered. And I love this deck. So this deck this is the Tarot of Mystical Moments that I just got, that I'm obsessed with because it's so gorgeous. But it has all of the kings in this deck have a female king and a male king. And I happen to pull 2 female kings, which is interesting because the course is about becoming the Empress. Now, it's not a gender specific course. You don't have to, be a feminine to take the course or become a feminine after you've taken the course. It's balancing the feminine side of self that we often repress because we are telling ourselves that our nature is too passionate. We're too hysterical. We emotionally eat. We couldn't possibly have a clear idea of what is healthy for us because we have this base nature and we're just constantly cycling through these problematic behaviors. We're told that we're unruly children who don't know how to feed ourselves, or there's a very specific message that we receive. And I want to give you the power to feel emotions and honestly eat if you need to, or understand that there are needs that you have. And the food is simply a signal that you've got needs that need to be met. And you can then make a choice to empower yourself to meet those needs. So you're really going to be learning how to take your power back from this overly distorted masculine way of thinking about the body. I read once when I was reading about French culture and food and the how they eat and what their bodies feel like and look like, and versus how we eat, etc. And I know that there's all different reasons for this. There's contamination of our food sources. There's really aggressive subliminal media and advertising. There's all different elements that make us disconnected from our intuition with food. But one of the biggest things that was pointed out to me when I read this article was that, I would think it was a book, it was years ago, was that the Western culture, and particularly in America, we approach food and health as a science-based situation, and we don't we reduce things down to like macros and calories and stuff like that, when that is not at all what really is happening when we're nourishing ourselves. That's just the intellectual analytical side of things, but there is another element there. There's human connection, there's the joy of eating, there's satiating feelings within that also is encompassed in healthy eating, and that has to be accounted for. So we're giving you that power back to be able to elevate the feminine intuition in regards to how we make decisions about food, and take away this idea that we're unruly little, weak-minded individuals, because there is this assumption that to be intuitive is to be feminine, which is to be weak, right? And the final messages that will be coming through is this King of Swords energy, again, the female king. And I love this union. We started the whole reading with the Queen of Swords, and we're ending this little part of the tarot part of this reading with the King of Swords, the match to the Queen. But again, this is elevating the feminine perspective in regards to how she makes decisions and how she strategizes. And this, again, please don't mistake, this is not a gender or biological association. This is an energy. This is allowing the feminine's intuition to have as much control in regards to choosing. Remember over here we're confused about what choices we should be making. We don't know how to tune in to our body. Then we start to get our power back and understand that the feminine actually does have the ability to take action, informed action, to be able to make those choices. And then we end up with all those choices that were up here in the sky. And she was vulnerable here, right? She was completely vulnerable in this way. Now we've created this like gown out of it, and she's adorned herself. She has nourished herself. She has chosen which elements of healthy eating suits her, and it's completely her own unique assortment of ideas. It's not like when you take this course, I'm going to be like, oh, you need to throw out all dieting consciousness and never diet and never do anything healthy for your body. And, because obese people promote obesity, I'm told. Well, that's not what this course is about. This course is about giving you the power to make the choices that will help you feel your best based on your intuition. Maybe your intuition tells you that following a macro regimen is good for you because it suits your personality. Maybe you've got some earth signs in there, or some, like a Cancer or something that's really likes to follow through with rules and regulations, and like that makes you feel good. Well, then that makes you feel good, then you should do that. But your reasoning behind the decisions you're making, I want those to come from within you and not from an external idea, a patriarchal, distorted, masculine external idea of what choices you should make for your body. Because I lived in bondage to these ideas, and they wounded, hurt me, and helped to really make my body sick, and relieving myself of the burden of having this idea that anyone outside of myself could truly know what I needed. This is what really helped free me. So that is what this course is hopefully going to help you to begin to do, to really hone into your empowerment of the intuition and make decisions and choices for yourself that are truly tuned in decisions. And since eating is something you do every day and something that affects your energy and your ability to like play and work well with others, it really is a great place to start learning how to be intuitive by taking every opportunity that you go to consume something to just check in and be like, how do I feel about this? And so I teach you how to do that with some beautiful rituals and different journal prompts. All right, now I'm going to pull from the Amenti Oracle. This is a deck that I also use just to hone us in, give us an overarching message for the course. Oop, that's too many. Just one, please. In other words, you're going to get a lot from the course. It's hard to like hone in on one message, I guess, that we're saying. I affirm that all life is sacred. The dragonfly here, which is like, for me, things coming to light and enlightenment, I see with dragonfly spirit. I feel that this is, again, affirming that all ways of living life are sacred, that all elements of life are sacred. Nourishing ourselves is sacred. I love that we're seeing her adorned, because pleasure and adornment are sacred. We're often taught that they're not. We've been taught a very distorted idea about our bodies and about our right our divine given right to enjoy what is here for us to enjoy. And this course is hopefully going to help you feel like all life is sacred. Your life is sacred, no matter what container, what your vessel is looking like. It's about how you're feeling and affirming that those feelings are a sacred way of determining what is best for you. All right. Then I'm going to do an example of some of the healing. So we do give you basically a daily practice that you can use that week. And then we hope that you sort of build cumulatively. I said that correctly, hopefully, where you start with the first week and you receive one of the healing touch cards that tells you, okay, this week we're going to work on this. And then the next week you get another one and you sort of build that into your new lifestyle, which is one where you do the things that you tell yourself you're going to do once you get that job or once you're with that person or because you start to understand that it's addictive. You know, you get addicted to readings. Well, you get addicted to listening to yourself and giving yourself what you desire. You're like picturing this version of yourself wearing a certain outfit and you're like, I'm going to give myself that outfit. It's definitely something that I feel becomes an integral part of you, these practices, these rituals. And it doesn't mean that you're going to do them perfectly every day. In fact, that's something that I want you to all release in this course, is the idea that you do things perfectly all the time, or that if you don't, then that means you're somehow a failure. I would really love for people who participate in the course, once you purchase it, you own it, you can use it as many times as you like. You can take it over and over. It's not something that's like I'm doing it. I did it when I wrote it over 6 months, and I'm doing it again, and I'm learning new things from it, and I'm resisting things that I, did before even, and learning about myself and how I still have to shift and flow with my energy. So healing is definitely not linear. There's going to be times in your life when you might need to come back to it because, you got really stressed with work or a job or a family member or partner, and you just kind of got off track. But you'll have this sense of like, oh, I remember when I felt like this before. And I remember that one of the first things that helped me was tuning back into what I was really craving. Or when you go through those stressful times, you will be like, I'm going to do every day one of those morning rituals just to be mindful, and not to get back into these patterns with food again. Or maybe you'll get triggered about your body in some way. Maybe your body will change drastically, in a way that will trigger old feelings that had to do with body image things that were influencing choices. And you'll be like, I need to go back to one of these, healing meditations about loving my body, etc. So that's what I intend for the course to be like for you long term. So the daily practice that I just pulled for us today is practice breath work. This says, pay attention to your breath for 2 minutes or more today. With each exhalation, release stress, anxiety, or concern. With each inhalation, receive peace and joy. So this would be a daily practice that you would then just start to introduce and try to make a little time for it. And this might have even come out, and then the next week meditation comes out. And so you can combine the meditation and breath work together. And so it doesn't become overwhelming. It's really just, it's actually showing you that these very small changes can sort of snowball you into a place where you feel a lot of confidence about the choices you're making, because you're tending towards wanting to make yourself feel good. And then there will be, after this part of integrating new beliefs and having daily practices, there is a ritual practice that Ash designs. And this will be for those of you that practice rituals regularly. You can just add it to your Book of Shadows. But it will be a ritual that will help you reinforce whatever belief we are trying to whatever new belief we're trying to create. And then following that, we have a deep healing meditation with these Elena Fairchild white light oracles. So I'm going to pull one of these today, and I'll close out with this nice meditation and healing for you. Thanks so much for coming here to see what the course is about. And I hope to see you over there. You can go click the links below. All the information is below about how to join. And if you are needing any personal readings, or you would like help specifically, one-on-one help with some of the issues that go hand in hand with food and body image stuff, please don't hesitate to go to pearlsprayers.com and hit me up in my email. I'd be more than happy to work with you in whatever way you need it. We are getting the energy of Shekinah right now. So let's read exactly what kind of healing. This is interesting. It's 6, which is the lovers. And in the course, spoiler, the lovers is a big player. It comes up a lot because we are learning to manifest love for our bodies and our intuition. The spiritual world wants to help you resolve your worldly concerns. It is safe for you to rely on spirit as a loving, protective, helpful, and practical presence, able to positively affect all areas of your life, including facilitating the resolution of physical problems. Do not limit your spirituality to concepts. Instead, apply your higher knowledge and principles, grow your wisdom, and live your path. Acknowledge your value as a person, as a soul. Treasure the gift of your path, and let your spirituality integrate with all facets of your life. Now, this is exactly what happens in the course. I randomly pull these cards, and they always relate to the theme very, very startlingly. This card is literally telling you that the spiritual nourishment you receive from the course, you can use in all facets of your life, including relationships and career, all of those things, because it's helping you to tune in to what you truly desire. Also, look how huge Bowie is now. I can't. Like, if we're measuring her by that, like we have to use that purple thing to measure her. Like, I feel like she's going to be as tall as my piano, like, in a month. She's only 6 months. She's not even 6 months. She's not going to be 6 months for a week. Okay. Anyway, Shekinah is a Hebrew word that translates as the dwelling place of the divine. Shekinah is the embodiment of the light. She is in us when we are living our spiritual path, applying our wisdom and principles, so our actions, our courage, our choices awaken compassion in our world. We are the sacred change makers and healers of the collective. The divine electricity of spirit needs willing soul bulbs to shine forth in the world. In the esoteric Jewish tradition of Kabbalah, Shekinah is the sacred feminine, the capacity for an experience of spirit entering the soul of a human being. When a soul is approaching the sacred experience of Shekinah, the ego has given way to some degree. There is enough inner space and heart willingness to surrender and receive so that spirit can infuse the soul. The soul becomes more luminous with white light. We resonate more with spirit than with ego. We feel like our true selves. When the soul becomes Shekinah, a holy dwelling place of spirit, our experience is very different to the ego-driven way of living. We slow down and accomplish that which is meaningful. We feel connected to all that is, so we are inspired to do what we can to help, according to our tendencies and talents. We co-create rather than compete. We accomplish our aspirations because we are no longer in our heads, but practicing our spiritual path daily. Our practice resonates with our hearts, increasing our awareness, love, presence, patience, commitment, and peace. Our spiritual practices are our life raft when the oceans of life become wild, and our magic carpet when we feel stuck and need inspiration and freedom. Our practices increase our compassion for ourselves and others. When Shekinah is in your reading, you have both permission and encouragement from Spirit to embrace spiritual practices that resonate with your heart and commit to them, especially when you think you don't need them or they don't seem to be doing anything for you. Those are the times you need them most. Are you freaking out by this reading? I'm freaking out by this. To embrace Shekinah is to embrace action. To embrace action, to commit, to engage, to walk our talk, and to be the light we want to see in our world. Wow. The ideas that nurture and inspire your heart are important, but the actions that transform hesitation, fear, and doubt into boldness, trust, and confidence, again, which is this, are essential to bring those ideas to life. You have it within you to live your light and to put all your problems and concerns into the capable hands of a deeper, guiding wisdom. You are not giving away your power in doing so. You are actually empowering your sacred fulfillment. This oracle brings notice of an opportunity to apply your spiritual principles. You are encouraged to consider how you can live so that your beliefs and outer actions are in alignment. This is not about denying the ego and its pains. It is about having compassion and responding from a place of kindness and determination to heal. I'm sorry, I'm just listening to Everybody Hurts, Everybody. That's interesting coming out from the window. Okay, this oracle, I lost my place because that was so rude. Hang on, I'm going to shut my window. Can I borrow this from you? You're jangling quite a bit. Thank you, sweetie. All right, here we go. I want to be able to do the meditation for you properly without the car music from outside. Okay, this oracle brings notice of an opportunity to apply your spiritual principles. You're encouraged to consider how you can live so that your inner beliefs and outer actions are in alignment. This is not about denying the ego and its pains. It is about having compassion and responding from a place of kindness and determination to heal. The oracle also suggests a matter of a material or physical concern can be touched and healed by spirit. Your task is to invite spirit in and allow it to do what it knows how to do. Find relief in the knowledge that spirit is with you and wants you to heal through all matters of concern. Wow, that convinced me to keep taking my own course. Okay, so we're going to do now the healing process. So I will just turn the video off after this. I'm going to let the music go for a little bit. So you can start to get comfortable. If you want to lay down, or if you just want to get, into that. I always go to start a meditation and I'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have sat like that. So just take your time and get really comfortable. Connect consciously with your heart, allowing yourself to become fully present in this moment. Noticing the flow of your breath in and out will support this process of transition into sacred inner heart space. Place a hand on your heart and say aloud, I call upon Shekinah, sacred feminine presence of the divine spirit within my heart and within all hearts. Awaken, divine sister. We need you. To you, I surrender all concerns in need of a higher solution. I trust that the healing capabilities of spirit are far greater than the depressing scenarios generated by fearful, wounded ego. I invite your sacred presence, protection, grace, blessing, and peace to restore me to my authentic path, to correct all issues in my life that have become tainted or confused by ego, and ensure my soul's spiritual fulfillment for the benefit of all beings. Thank you for your love and presence with me always. Now, imagine, see, feel, or intend that a beautiful white light is awakening in your heart and radiating throughout all parts of you, shining like a white spiritual sun. It may shine all the colors of the rainbow from your heart or remain as white light. The beautiful rays of light reach through all levels and dimensions of existence. Simply let this happen as you surrender into the effects of your prayer and your practice. Rest in this luminous offering for as long as feels right for you. Finish with your hands in prayer and your head bowed with respect for life. You have finished your healing process.